Welcome to the backcountry camping trip Tom and I just returned from at 10,000 Islands in Everglades National Park.
Okay, just loaded up, headed out to the Everglades for 3 or 4 days. Make sure Hank's still with me. Oh yeah, he's still here. I didn't lose him yet. Making a half a mile out here yet. We ran into a school of bait fish blowing up. So we threw our lures in there. Looks like they're all jacks. We can't mess around with these guys. We got to get to our camping spot.
You will be required to obtain a permit at the Gulf Coast Visitor Center. They are open from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Well, about 5.5 miles down, 2 more to go.
During the summer season, which is mid-April through mid-November, permits are free but are still required. They are available 24 hours, 7 days per week. Follow self-registration instructions at the Gulf Coast Visitor Center. This is the difference in the ride in the Everglades once the wind starts to pick up. We're less than a mile from our campsite. It's been the longest, hardest mile because of the wind. Okay, we've arrived at Picnic Key Island at the exact same time as the thunderstorm.
3 hours by land, 3 hours by sea. Here we are.
That's good, I'll get it to that first.
Get your cut out first and we'll check that out.
During the winter season, which is mid-November through mid-April, backcountry permits must be obtained in person at the Gulf Coast Visitor Center at their normal operating hours. A permit processing fee of $15 will be charged, as well as $2 per person per day camping fee. I'm scooping up the mullet.
Stuck on the outside of the net or something. Definitely got bait. Okay, first night at the Everglades. We only got about an hour to fish. Just had a wicked thunderstorm. Got a nice rainbow. So we'll see if we can catch some fish.
No permits are issued by telephone. So, for sites where 1 or 2 campers are allowed, people should arrive at the ranger station a day in advance to secure permits on busy weekends. If you seek a permit for the day you arrive, plan to be flexible and have an alternate site in mind. The backcountry campsites go by the leave no trace principles. Plan to pack in and pack out all waste. Be aware that many sites do not have restrooms, and those that do are not able to be serviced regularly. If this is going to be your first camping trip to 10,000 Islands, I would suggest that you do it in the winter. Winter is the best season to go. Summers are hot, muggy, and mosquitoes are plentiful.
Chased it right to the kayak. There's a lot of fish out here, a lot of movement. Should be a good night. Big fish on top of it. I don't know if it's a snook or jack. Boy. Oh, he's so good.
Oh, lost him.
That is the storm that just blew by us, or blew over us, I should say. And it was quite nasty.
Depending on what island you plan on camping on, your trip out will probably be between 6 and 8 miles. And we highly recommend a handheld GPS unit. Once you get out of the main channels and get back in these mangrove areas, very easy to get lost. Every time we do one of these camping trips, we learn a little more. We come up with some ideas to make it more pleasurable or comfortable, and I'll insert some of these ideas into the video as we go along. Not a snook. In most areas, there is no cell phone service. It is spotty at best. We have stayed at Jewel Key Island, where there was never any cell service, and we stayed at Picnic Key and Tiger Key, where it was spotty at best. The best you can hope for is to get service long enough to send a text message. Damn, broke right off. If you're going to go for 3 or 4 days, you want to make sure you have a very good cooler. Something that will keep ice for that long, especially if you wanted to bring any fish home. This is a snook. It's a big area out there. You may or you may not ever see a ranger for the 3 or 4 days you are there. Well, first snook of the trip, even though he's not big enough. These are the storms we're getting hit with. Trying to eat my chili. One storm after another. Hopefully it'll pass.
The bugs were terrible last night. The little no-see-ums were able to get through the screens of our tents. Me and Hank were getting eaten alive all night. Let's see if it's going to be worth it. It's an angry bird. There we go. Something small. Ladyfish. Nice trout. Whoa. one, spit it. Nice. Hank's got a big snook on.
Here's our camp. We're set up right on the corner of the island. We can fish from our chairs right there. And then jump in to cool off. Well, this is our home for the next 3 days. My tent, Tom's tent. I'm just sitting here having a coffee, relaxing. It's about noon on the first day. Tom just went back out because he saw a lot of activity on the water out there. Went out to check it out. Lost one big snook this morning. Caught a couple small ones. We'll see what happens. Great place to go camping. The first couple times we went, we used air mattresses to sleep on. But you get so much sand inside the tent, no matter how careful you are, it makes it very miserable. So we invested in a couple of cots. They get us up off the ground, and it made a big difference. You are required to tie the permit to the outside of your tent while you're camping.
That's where the water is.
The water's rising. We're running out of real estate. Once again, here come the storms. I guess we're going to have these every evening that we're here. Kind of interrupts one of the best fishing times. But can't control Mother Nature. Well, looks like the storm's calming down a little. I hope it's the last one. It's only around 4 o'clock, 4:30. I'd like to get back out there and do some fishing.
Alright, we got a little snook. Little jack. Little red. Got some fancy new water shoes. They look like Michael Jordan water shoes. Or Ronald McDonald.
What species we're looking for, but way too small. Another little guy. Where's the big ones?
Yeah, I was fishing from shore. About 100 yards from the campsite, there was fish blowing up all along these mangroves. And a big fish. Let's see if we can see what they are. Hopefully they're big snook. All right. Nah, he pulled some drag. Probably gonna go on another run. Yeah, it's a shark. This one's not a bonnet head though, I don't think. Oh, he broke it off.
Whenever you leave your campsite, you might want to take all your water and your food with you. If you leave it in a tent, the raccoons may eat through your tent to get in to get it, and they will chew through plastic bottles of water. Make sure you take a mosquito net with you. Mackerel. You have to go with the tide, because if you try to go against it, you will turn a 3-hour trip into a 7 or an 8-hour trip. Take 1 gallon of water per person per day. I don't know what we got here. Oh, it's a big jack. When you pull your kayak in for the night, make sure you check the high tide watermark and keep it well above that water. You're going to have a lot of camping gear in that kayak. This is a big guy. Make sure your kayak is rated for your weight and also the weight you are going to put into it. If it isn't, you might want to consider renting a kayak just for the trip. That's a fighter, folks.
Another jack. All jacks. Oh, he let go and something else just grabbed it. A jack. Oh, a shark grabbed the jack. Oh, that's what happened. Holy cow. Oh, a shark grabbed that jack. That was crazy. Oh, I don't know if this guy's gonna make it. Look at all the teeth marks in him. Yikes. Oh boy, he's cut bad. Oh my goodness gracious. He swam away. This is probably going to be our last morning, unless the fishing really picks up. Catching a lot of fish, but nothing big.
It's Sunday morning. What's supposed to be the second full day of our trip, but we have decided to wrap it up today. So we're only going to fish in the morning, and we're going to pack up and head on back. Thunderstorms have been too many, too long. Bugs are unbelievable. And we're catching a lot of fish, but no big snook. So we're going to fish for a couple more hours, and then we'll pack up, start the long journey back. Finally, the ranger station is in sight. That's where we launched. That was one brutal, hot trip back. However, despite the storms, the heat, the bugs, and the lack of big fish, we enjoyed ourselves and can't wait to come back.